Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on just some DC news. So we are officially 3 months out from the release of Superman in theaters, officially kicking off this new DCU reboot in what feels like a long time coming, but of course we still have that final 3 months to go, so let's not jump ahead of ourselves here. But coming out of CinemaCon like just over a week and a half ago roughly, we didn't really get much out, from there outside of the sneak peek that would eventually then play in front of Minecraft, in front of all the chicken jockeys. But they of course released that online officially because people were just posting video footage from their iPhones or maybe Androids. I guess people use Androids from the theaters anyway, so it makes sense to just provide it online in the best quality possible. And also, I don't know if they were playing it internationally in front of Minecraft. It might have just been it might have just been IMAX as well. Was it in normal theaters? I'm not too sure. But yeah, there wasn't that much at CinemaCon. There was some other bits and pieces of news that dropped since that are worth talking about, so let's do that. But of course, throughout the video, let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and opinions and everything we go over. Always curious where you guys are thinking. And of course, enjoy the video. Drop a like. Takes 2 seconds. So I was going to start off the video with some Superman stuff, but literally about, this morning when I woke up, so when I saw it about an hour and a half ago from when I'm making this video, the first look at Supergirl came in. Now, this came from a drone shot from when they were, well, they're still filming, but I guess this was done like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago or something like that. And you can see a screenshot of it here. It's obviously not in the best quality because it's from a drone from pretty far up and everything like that, but you can see the rough look at the Supergirl suit here, and to no surprise, I don't know if anyone's overly shocked at this, it looks pretty much like the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic costume, which the only change is going to be the emblem. It's obviously going to have the Kingdom Come-esque emblem that we have, of course, in the Superman film, and we know that's going to be just the House of L symbol, or for just this DC universe, because it's on the Fortress of Solitude. It's not a creative choice by Superman. It's in this canon within this DC universe, and that's what the symbol looks like. So that's going to be really the only change there. And of course, just some little things, like there might be lions, as we know, in these comic book costumes, and of course we just related to the Superman suit as well. But yeah, it looks fine. But obviously it's from far away, but it's sort of what I expected it to look like. The only thing is that in the shot you can see that Supergirl's standing next to someone. People think that's Lobo. If that's Lobo, I don't know. I think it's just some random military, alien military dude. I don't think that's Lobo. And of course they're standing on like a tank, like a space tank or something like that. I mean, if that's Lobo, yeah, I don't think it is. Like, just doesn't really. I think we were just like, oh, look, they have long hair, so it must be Lobo. I'm like, come on, what are we talking about here? Like, I don't think that's Lobo. If it is, it doesn't look that great, at least from this look here. If it is, maybe up close it looks better. Now, I don't know if they're going to release anything like an official look because of this leak, but I think no one's really complaining about it. So usually that means they probably won't release an official look. That's usually how they go about things. If no one's complaining, they'll just keep it like that. If people are complaining, then they'll release their own look. So yeah, but of course we have an event coming up in literally a week from now, which maybe they might do something Supergirl related there, which we'll talk about pretty much in a second. But let's jump into Superman. So the big thing that came out with Superman outside of that sneak peek from CinemaCon, which then played in front of Minecraft, at least in select countries and select theaters, was we actually have an early release coming for Superman. So Superman will reportedly release 2 days early for some international markets on July 9th, with the film officially releasing in US theaters on July 11th. And that's still being advertised July 11th in a lot of different areas. Now, I don't know specifically what countries are getting the film on the 9th of July 2 days early, but this is coming from the official Superman movie website. So they say Superman will be in cinemas and IMAX nationwide, as in the USA, on July 11th, 2025, and internationally beginning 9th of July, 2025. So that doesn't mean that internationally it's all coming out on the 9th of July. It just means in select countries starting then. So a big thing is like Australia, for example, like it doesn't really happen too much now. I think like America sort of matches up now. But even up until maybe like just before like Infinity War, like whatever that movie that would come out at the beginning of May for Marvel would always come out on the 25th of April because that's a public holiday in Australia. So they get some public holiday money by releasing the film there. And there's usually like, extra days there and stuff to generate more money, and people are looking for things to do. And sometimes in those cases, like the cinema is sometimes one of the only things that's open at a certain time. So that's an example there where Australia would always get that May Marvel movie like a week, if not a week and a half early. So I'm not sure what countries they are. They didn't list them. I don't know if there's another release which has the countries, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's maybe some Asian countries that maybe get it. Even some European countries sometimes get it early. I don't know if Australia would. We might get it like the 10th of July if they're going to do anything like that, but that's a wait and see. Now, I don't think this matters too much because I think it's going to be a smaller international market that gets it July 9th. I don't think like the UK will get it July 9th, but then again, they might because I just said that they won't. But I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue spoiler wise. But the last thing to talk about with Superman is Superman Day, which of course was talked about maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe roughly, where they first started like to hint that something might be happening there. Of course, that's happening April 18th, which is exactly a week from now. Get ready for that, of course. But Jim Lee and James Gunn were promoting it, saying like, hey, Superman Day, it's coming up. And also there was a reminder for it on various ad spots with the trailer as well. So they'd say the movie's coming out July 11th, but then they also say Superman Day, April 18th. So I think we can connect the dots. That's when the like legitimate official trailer is coming out, because the trailer we got at the end of last year in December was the teaser trailer. Though it's been played to heck and everything like that, it's still the teaser trailer. This will be the official trailer, and that's usually where you get more of a sense of the plot and what's happening. We'll actually hear characters talking, so that's a big difference there. So this will be a pretty big trailer, and I think this is the one that Warner Brothers probably wants to perform pretty well. I'm not too sure what's coming out in theaters where it would play alongside it. Of course, there's Thunderbolts coming up. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there in regards to what movies it plays in front of. But this should really be the big one. Then we'll probably get one more trailer, maybe like a month, 3 weeks out from the movie coming out, which I think will just be like maybe not show too much more, but just, create like a different angle of hype for it. So yeah, I think this could be obviously Superman Day, going to get that trailer, but this could be maybe where they release an official look at Supergirl, because she is Superman related and she is going to be in the film. It's in like obviously in a small role, but she's going to be in that movie. We know that. So they might show an official look at Supergirl there as well, which would be pretty cool. But now let's move on to some Batman stuff. So we've got stuff relating to Reeves versus Batman and then DCU Batman, which of course is this thing that's hanging in the abyss. We don't know what's happening there. But it is reported that Robert Pattinson is set to portray not Batman, but Skytail or Scytale, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, in Dune 3. That is slated to begin shooting in July of this year and continue through until the end of the year, which is a big thing. Now, with Robert Pattinson's involvement in Dune 3, this would prevent him from donning the Batman cape and cowl in the second film until next year at the earliest, like early next year at the earliest. So all the reports is that movie was going to start filming by the end of this year, if not like maybe like 3 or 4 months out from the end of the year. Now we're hearing that, of course he's going to be in Dune 3 because I guess his schedule is, it's not full at that time. So now the Batman's being pushed back further, which then means the DCU Batman gets pushed back even further, which is crazy. Now, there's been a lot of criticisms towards Matt Reeves and everything like that. Like, apparently there's like a personal thing going on, so you just leave it as it is. But it will be interesting just to see what James Gunn does. Can he just sit back and just let his DCU Batman not really have any sort of impact on his universe, but the Reeves stuff keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed? It will be interesting. I think eventually he's going to have to make a decision. I think this has to be the last delay. I think if there's another delay after this, like a significant one, like a 2-week delay, okay, whatever. But another one where Robert Pattinson's taking another role, I think you got to, stick your foot down, if you know what I mean, and, act like a CEO, and you're probably going to, okay, we're scrapping that. We're going ahead with our Batman. But now let's move on to this DCU stuff. So this is Brandon Sklenar, who of course is this like Twitter DCU Batman fan cast, which I don't really see it, to be completely honest, but he was asked about taking on the role of Batman in the DCU potentially, and he said, I mean, for Batman, let's keep running with that. That's something I've wanted to do since I was a little kid, and I've never even talked about it. It just started happening, and I was like, this is cool, and now maybe, hopefully, it happens one day. I'd love to do it. It's literally a childhood dream to do something like that, specifically that character. If I were ever to do any type of thing in any superhero space, that's what it would be. And then the interviewer asked, like, has anyone, and then made a phone call gesture, and he goes, yeah, I think there's some awareness of me on some level, probably, but yeah, I know they're a ways away from doing that, but yeah, obviously the little kid in me and the adult in me is like, this is cool, and I have a bunch of ideas. Anyway, it would be cool. Sounds like he thinks it would be cool, obviously. There's a lot of cool chucked in there. Look, with this one, I don't think there's a lot of people jumping that it means like, oh, he's saying that, yeah, he's had a call with James Gunn, or I don't know if that's necessarily the case. If anything, maybe there's like, obviously in Hollywood, there's like feelers and stuff. They can go out and get a hint of like, oh, is this happening? Are they leaning this way? Do they have any sort of interest there? Does James Gunn know who this guy is? Does he think he'd be a good Batman? Does anyone within that DC team have anything? Or do they, have some sort of other connections which they can, put a lead to, or whatever it might be? I don't know if there's really too much looking into it. I mean, the thing he says there, like they're a ways away from doing that, that almost sounds like he's reading stuff off Twitter anyway. So I don't know, like who knows what James Gunn is doing and where Batman's going to debut first, whether it just means Batman can't debut in his DCU stuff until the Reevesverse stuff gets sorted out, or even their movie comes out, or at least the specific movie can't come out. So maybe Batman could show up in goddamn Peacemaker season 2 if he really wanted to and cast him there. Highly doubt that's going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think this is one of those things where just, it's once again the Twitter fan cast and stuff. I'm sure James Gunn has like 5 better options for who Batman could be. I personally just don't get this fan cast. I'm not a hater for it. If you got cast, whatever, good on him. And if you can do Batman, you can do Batman. It's just one of those ones you look at and go, I don't understand. I feel like people are getting paid to tweet about it. It's sort of like one of those situations. But the final thing to talk about is Peacemaker. So we got a new look at this, a very short, like it was in a compilation thing for like stuff coming to either Max or HBO, I think in the remainder of this year. So there was a couple different shots. It doesn't really show much. I probably just show the actual footage or something like that on screen, but it doesn't really show much. The one thing I do take from it though, is that maybe, not will or definitely, but maybe they're going for a more serious tone with the show, at least in regards to balancing it a bit more. Like I'm sure there'll still be that humor and silly stuff from season 1 that people liked about the show, but I felt the times they tried to be serious and a bit deep in season 1, it didn't really hit that much, whether it was just because there wasn't a decent balance there or because it would just come before or after something really silly. So maybe Gunn wants that to actually hit in season 2 emotionally and a bit deeper. And with the universe reboot, of course, certain changes can be made to add to that emotional stuff going into season 2 from season 1, whether it is with Peacemaker specifically or just some of the other characters on the show as well. So, I don't know, there's not a lot of humor going on in that little teaser thing there, so maybe they're trying to lean into a bit more of a, not necessarily like overly serious tone, but at least like a bit more of just a balanced tone. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it, show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions and everything we went over in this video. Always curious to read what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.